What's up, people? Happy Monday. It's me, Sergio, again, and I'm chatting with Story here. We're doing another Story chat, and I welcome everybody. I hope this month has ended up really well. We're at the end of August, and we have some really cool things lined up, and I want to talk about that today, as well as a big announcement that we have. Our new training course is out, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and I want to hear what you guys have been up to and see what you guys are doing for Lightbox, because that's another thing that we're going to be talking about as well. So let me start out as I usually do, and I've done lately, is talking about a couple of updates, especially as people trickle in, because I love seeing everybody on here. Okay, so a couple of things that are going on. I've been mentioning this for the last couple of weeks, is that we've been working for a new training course. And this is something that I put together, and we specifically designed this to start before Lightbox Expo. So for those of you who don't know what Lightbox Expo is, and most artists do because we've been making a big deal about this, and hopefully you've been following us, this is an online event to gather artists, and it's about networking, it's about learning, it's about connecting with other people, getting inspired. It's truly awesome. I really highly recommend it. So go to Go to lightboxexpo.com. That time it came out. Go sign up, and it's going to be really cool. There's a lot of really inspiring people there and top-notch people in the industry. We are one of the proud sponsors of Lightbox Expo. Storyboard Art is, of course. And one of the things that we're doing a lot, but one of the things that we're doing is sponsoring this free training that hit today. We call it the Drawing and Portfolio Challenge. What this is about is getting your drawings and ready for Lightbox and getting your portfolio set so you can start talking to clients. You can start getting more work, getting more leads, and start connecting with other people. I want to make sure that everybody out there at least has an idea of what to do with their story portfolio. So I want to kind of take a little survey and ask people out there, what have you been doing with your story portfolio? If you have one already, maybe you can start interchanging your website links here on this chat. In fact, it might be a good idea for me to start this off by giving the link to that. So here it is. Oh yeah, sorry about the start time on this. Is that for whatever reason it didn't do what I wanted. I wanted it to start at 7, and for some reason, on our live chats here, on our live streams, it's starting at 7:10. So hopefully, those who can join us, you're joining us now. I just put up on screen for those of us on Facebook and YouTube can see that link. For you guys on Instagram, go to our account page and check out the link in our profile. Okay, so there you're going to see what we're going to do for that course. And we got 5 lessons that I've been working on really hard, actually, this whole month to really get these out. And I think it's one of the most exciting ones that I've done, because the challenge assignments, that's why we call it a challenge event. The challenge assignments are really fun. It's going to be a challenge, right? Because you got to do it, but we're going to all do it together. Okay. And we're going to do this as a group. And I think that's going to be the key there. The key is getting inspired by seeing other people do it and do that work, and having enough images that you can put together for your portfolio. These are all images that I think we need. And if you have some already, you're going to be able to do that, and just add to your portfolio, maybe adjust things and create an update for your portfolio that maybe you haven't done in a while. If you're anything like me, you put it off to the last minute. I really hate doing portfolio stuff because it's like looking at my own work and having to pick and choose and kind of self-edit things, but it's work that we have to be doing. And I hope you guys are going to get into it. And if we do it together, it's going to be easier that way, okay? It's going to be a tremendous amount of fun seeing everybody else in the group do the work also and have their unique stamp and their style on this thing. So check that out. I'll just read it off for people. The best way for us to do it, because the hyperlink gets really long, is go to bit.ly and it's the bit.ly link Storyboard Challenge, okay? That's bit.ly Storyboard Challenge. All right, so let me get rid of that. I also want to take questions about anything you guys are working on. Could be anything event-wise, if you're doing any prep for the Lightbox Expo, or anything in between. It could be story stuff. It could be industry stuff. I'm all about that. Hopefully we'll start up another really good conversation as we normally do on these chats. And we usually go for half an hour. So it's really quick. It's really fun. It's really easy that we get through this. Okay, let me talk a little bit more about what we're doing for Lightbox. So in addition to this event that's starting up now, so the registration is open for the Drawing Portfolio the registration is open for the Drawing Portfolio Challenge. I've been talking all day long today and my tongue is getting tied. Okay, so that registration is open. The first lesson hits next Monday on September 7th. All right, and it's designed that way so we build up the momentum right before Lightbox Expo. And that goes through all the way through Lightbox Expo and continues the week after. Okay, so hopefully that momentum will kick in and you guys will get excited. You might be able to share some of your images with people out there online and you participate in everything that's going on in Lightbox Expo. What we are doing at Storyboard Art for Lightbox is sponsoring a bunch of chats with industry people. So we have a really cool kind of keynote talk that we're doing on Saturday. And I believe that if I remember correctly, that's Saturday at 11 a.m. PST Pacific time. And that one is just with a bunch of industry people that I know, and they've been gracious enough to volunteer their time to talk about the latest updates and things that they were working on. Guys from Pixar, from Blizzard, from Warner Brothers, from Disney, from Lucasfilm. So that's one you really don't want to miss. In addition to the rest of the schedule. And I don't want to belabor this talk with the rest of that schedule. You can see that on Lightbox. So check out that. Then I should also mention, we've been hitting at it. You see this in our social media that the Story Artist Mentorship is coming soon. This is a year-long course that we are doing with a secret awesome co-instructor that I'm going to reveal pretty soon. Those of you guys who are on our waiting list already know who it is. And yeah, this is going to be an amazing event. I am really, really looking forward to this one because what we did in 2018 with a group of artists was so inspiring, and that was our initial launch for that course, and we've really, really plussed it up this time. So those of you guys who might have missed out that opportunity, this is the time to do it. That's also going to come mid-September. Right when Lightbox hits. So that's going to be something special. We'll tell you about it. You guys are going to know about it. We're going to make sure that you know about it when it opens up. Okay. A lot of mentorship guys come to these chats too, which is great. And I love seeing the progress that everybody does there. All right, so let's get into a little bit. I just want to really quickly tell you about the structure of the Drawing Portfolio Challenge, what we're doing there. And any questions, we'll take that afterwards about anything, industry, what you're working on, portfolios. So I recommend you register, go to the website, you put in your email, and then you're going to get in your email inbox a confirmation. The first lesson hits on September 7th, and that will send you a link to get to that first lesson. So what is that? That's a bunch of tips. It's a video that I've created. And it's got a bunch of resources there too, software resources, downloadable resources, and links. And there's a challenge assignment that I'm going to give out. So this is something that we're all going to do together. And we're going to do the work. And then we're going to post this to our Facebook group. So we have the Visual Storytellers United Facebook group. And that's been a wonderful place where we can have a lot of interaction. It's a safe place where we do constructive criticism. That's what we encourage there. So that anything that you do is meant to show to others and hopefully get positive feedback so that you can improve the work you're doing. And then you're going to save that stuff for your portfolio. All the lessons cover different topics that I think are really, really important for your portfolio. So we're going to talk about gags. We're going to talk about drawing camera lenses, right, with different camera lenses. We're talking about shot choice, composition, staging. These are things that you really need to show in your portfolio. It's more drawing heavy, so it's drawing focused, which we haven't done much of in the past, but you're going to see a lot of my demos, and I'm going to take you through how to actually do technique-wise what to do with different programs. Photoshop, I use Autodesk Sketchbook and Toon Boom, and a variety of others, but those are the three main ones that I'll be using in this course. And then the challenge assignments is where it's at. That's really, you got to do the work, you got to do it with me, and then we're going to come together and have a bunch of storyboard images that we're going to put into a portfolio. So if you already have a portfolio, I hope you do, we can take some of that and we can do a little refresh and maybe reorganize things with some of the tips I'm giving you. And again, it's not about following a formula. That's not about that. It's about following your own style but at least covering the basis, because I really want you to know about perspective. I really want you to show that off. I really want you to show cool camera angles, to know that you can draw a lens that's a wide angle lens, that you know how to do a long angle lens, which is telephoto style, and kind of understand the millimeters there too. So these are some tricks that people are going to look for in a storyboard portfolio, and I want you guys to understand that stuff. So by the way, this is all free. Why is this free? Because we want to build a big group so that we build a network, okay? And we give you guys a training to do this stuff. It also gives you a flavor of some of the things that we do at Storyboard Art, and the way that I present things, the way that I teach things. Because I've mentored a lot of people over the years, and hopefully you respond to some of that. So yeah, that's part of it. Make sure you check that out. Okay, how about we get into the meat of this stuff? Let's see let's see what people are talking about. I saw a question come in earlier on Instagram here. So this one from Vicho Fredley. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I feel like I know nothing about Lightbox Expo. I registered already. What would you recommend to make the best of it? Okay, let me give a little bit of explanation there. I don't know. Maybe you haven't seen some of the posting on Lightbox. The first thing you want to do is go to that website and sign up. So they make you sign up. They make you enter your email because they want to avoid bots and a bunch of scammers or whatever that happens out there online. You want to sign up, and then you can opt to the different programs there. It's really, really affordable. I think the lowest one is only $1, and you get access to a bunch of things, which is really, really important for professional focused artists who want to make this their career. Now, what is Lightbox? Lightbox is it's a network event that is normally held in person in Los Angeles and Pasadena. And because of the pandemic situation, it moved online this year. And that's actually an advantage to what we're doing, because it's going to have a much bigger reach to those of us out there just anywhere. We don't have to actually be in LA and spend a bunch of money on hotels or plane flights and everything else, including the tickets, which are much more expensive in person. And we can do this online and connect with each other and still get a lot of the information. There are all kinds of talks. So what I would recommend is that if you can, leave that weekend open. So September 11th through 13th, and leave that whole weekend open, and just, kind of go and pick the talks and the demos that are going to be sponsored by all of the artists there. Us at Storyboard Art, we're doing a bunch of them. We're doing at least 3 a day for each one of those days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And you're going to want to pick and choose which ones you most relate to, and then interact as much as possible there. There are other cool things that you can do with that event, which includes community stuff on a Discord channel that they're sponsoring. You can also do community drawing, which is going to be a really fun, exciting event if you guys want to check that out. And then the best thing that you want to get the most out of Lightbox is interact with other people, send them your links, and share and connect. So you're going to build your network. So not only are you going to learn a bunch of things, hopefully, from the demos and all the stuff that people are sponsoring, but you can also connect with others and build your network that way. So people that you wouldn't normally have access to, and this includes companies, high-level veteran artists that you may not know in person, that you can reach out and hopefully connect on social media and LinkedIn, and make it a professional connection that you can use in the future. So if you have any other questions about that, hit us up. We've got a bunch of community people that help in our support team, and we can help point you in the right direction for that. The first thing you want to do is sign up. And awesome. Thanks, Shadow Jack, for backing me up on some of that info. And let's see, another question here on Instagram. McClendon Brian is asking about, what about Procreate? Well, I don't do my demos on a tablet. And the reason I do that is because I'm recording a lot of my screen. So Procreate is an excellent program. I highly recommend you guys check it out. You should try everything. And I think it's affordable, and it's actually very valuable for doing storyboards and kind of sequential art. And what I understand is they also included a timeline, so you can do kind of even animated things there too. So Procreate is a great software. The demos that I use are mostly geared towards showing you one, Photoshop, which I think is the benchmark for software that you should know just in general. Toon Boom, which is one of the most common storyboard programs out there right now, very popular. And then the last one that I like personally is Autodesk Sketchbook, which is completely free. So that one I think is accessible, free, has a timeline, and has great drawing tools. So you want to check that out. Yeah, we got JC with this art station. Hopefully, let me put that up on screen for you guys to check out. This is a great way for you guys to interact and share things with each other. So shout out to Jean-Claude there. All right. This is a great one from Chad. Hey, buddy. They do have a database up for Lightbox Expo this year too. So what is that? That is an artist database where the participants of the Lightbox Expo, if you register and you sign up, you get access to fill out a profile that you can put up your links. You can put up sample images, and that's a great way to connect with other people. I know the last time this happened at Lightbox, the recruiters and the companies were looking at this database to find people to fill their positions that they're looking for. What better way to find talented artists than to go to where there's a high concentration of people, right? This is a great question from Jean-Claude here. I'll just repeat it for those of you guys on Instagram. What software do you use in order to be able to print the script along with the storyboards? You guys might have answered this already and know the answer, but I think it's a good one to put on screen. I think one of the best ones that I've used is Toon Boom. Has a feature where you can input the dialogue. And in fact, if you have a final draft script format, I think that imports inside of Toon Boom. Now, will it print with the storyboards? I think there is an export template inside of Toon Boom that you can have the dialogue alongside the storyboard panel. Okay, it kind of looks like the classic TV format of your storyboards. The other one that I've done, and this is kind of hacking it a little bit, is using the action commands and the batch processing commands inside of Photoshop to do something similar. I will export the script as JPEG image. So if I have a PDF script, with most of the time studios will give you, you can export the PDF pages as JPEG images, bring those into Photoshop, you cut them up, and you put them into Photoshop, and then you can export those with an action to the image that you've created. It's a little bit more hands-on and a little bit, like I said, hacking it so that it works. But at least you know that the program can do it in a systemized way. When you have that all organized in folders and stuff, you can just click your batch command, and it'll process that inside of Photoshop. But since Toon Boom already has it, I think that's the easiest way to do it. If you guys have any other suggestion for that, please let us know. Yeah, we got Anthony. Hey, buddy. Yeah, that Saturday is going to be great, and I think the whole weekend is going to be awesome with Lightbox Expo. Cool. Let's go down here, see what other questions and comments we have here. Hey, let me put this on screen too. So Joseph Garcia is sharing your website, so you guys click on that and check that out. For Instagram, you're gonna have to see the replay in after this on my after the chat here. Okay, so all right, we got international people from Japan is checking this out. Great, I love it. I hope you guys can join Lightbox. So hopefully this question got answered, but how do I join the Lightbox event? Go to lightboxexpo.com and you'll see all the sign up info there. Okay, so that's really cool and easy to do it. Pretty straightforward. You can also see that on social media. Go to that Lightbox page. And we're gonna publish our Lightbox schedule pretty soon. That'll come in the next few days. We are making the last final touches on that. The schedule is set. We just have a landing page where everybody can see everything at once, and we'll make sure you guys know about it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. So cool. So that link went there. All right. So Travel Swano, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If we don't currently have a portfolio, would it be worthwhile to create one, even if it's not as professional as we'd like? Yes, my friend. Yes, absolutely. So if you don't have a portfolio already, yes, you want to create one. Guess what? How we're going to do this? Sign up to the Drawing and Portfolio Challenge, my friend. You let that. You gave that to me on a platter. Like, how better can I just put a shameless plug with that question? Come to that challenge event, and we're gonna show you step by step how to prepare your portfolio, and we're gonna do it before Lightbox. So And, like I said, you might not have enough images to do it, right? You might not like have a full, like you're saying, as professional as you like, but at least you'll have something to get started. And if you follow those challenge exercises, they're going to be key images that are actually going to attract people. In fact, less is more oftentimes with your portfolio. If you have like 5 amazing storyboard panels and you have nothing else, people will look at it and they say, wow, this is great. Show me more, right? You want that. Whereas if you have like 1,000 storyboard panels and they're all kind of mediocre, they'd be like, okay, well, this guy can do a couple good, but the rest of them are kind of weak. So then it kind of looks bad. So you have to do a selection and keep it, less is more on that one. Okay. We'll talk a lot about that. But yeah, if you don't have a portfolio already, put one together. You can do that in a day, a couple hours. I mean, really, if you're organized, if you have all your images, let's say in a bunch of directories, a bunch of files on your hard drive, just take that, do a scan, pick the top 10 that you like. You really don't need that many. And then you could either put that to your website. You can do an art station. You can like print those out on a PDF. Like I'm saying, go to Photoshop, put them all into Photoshop, export those things with one button with a batch process, and you make a PDF image, a PDF document, and then after that you have that document, then you upload it to your website or you share it with somebody. You can email it with everybody, right? Put a link on your ArtStation that goes to that portfolio page, right? All of that stuff is free and low cost. So that's really good to do. Okay, cool. So let's see what else we got going on. Okay, great conversation that's happening here in this chat. It's always great to have people talking about like pro level stuff. I will mention a couple of things when it comes to portfolios. Okay, back in the day, what you had to do was you had to print out a physical portfolio. You had to put it into a binder, and then you have to like mail these out to the studios, right? And then you would hope and pray that these guys would actually see it and look at it. It was kind of like a cold entry to these studios. And then you would also hope that what you put in there was nice enough for them to look at it and give you a callback. There was no standard way of like a template or anybody like guiding you along. Basically, it was word of mouth of how to organize a portfolio. I was asking other friends and other buddies, hey man, does this look good? Is this the right organization to do it? It was almost like intuition as to what I was doing. I would do portfolios back when I was starting out and have like, I don't know, 20, 30 panels on one 8.5 by 11 page. And it was just so many panels on a page. You're like, it doesn't work. You can't see it. You can't appreciate the drawings there. So that's one of the key things I tell people is don't put that many images on one page. Make sure you're highlighting your drawing skills, your perspective, your staging, all that good stuff. Okay. Then the other thing that we would do back in the day is if you didn't get a call back, then what? Do you send them another portfolio? It costs money to actually print these things out. And then I would do color photocopies. So I have to go to remember Kinko's back in the day? Now it's FedEx Kinko's. I would go there and print those things out. And I would spend literally, it was like hundreds of dollars on portfolios every year. And that, that added up, especially when you're broke and you have no job. So then what do you have to do? You cross your fingers and hope and pray. So that nowadays it's much easier. Okay. And it's actually way cheaper. You don't have to spend those hundreds of dollars in printouts and cutting and pasting things like we used to do. It's so easy with digital tools nowadays. You just export your images, make sure it's nicely organized. And then you just make a PDF document, it's a digital book, digital document that you have. And it's all organized with your contact information there. And then you can send that out. And like I said, it doesn't have to be that big. You don't have to make this crazy elaborate thing. It can be really, really on point, really key to what you're trying to accomplish, and really show off your storytelling and your style and your ability to solve problems, your ability to have some gags and just show off your own personality. That's what you want to do in a portfolio. Okay. Let me answer this question here that came up from another one from McClendon Brian. Can the drawings in the portfolio be fan art as well? It depends. I think, I've seen a lot of examples of like Batman situations and superheroes. And if you take those elements and let's say fan art of whatever, Pixar movies or horror films or whatever you like, if you take those elements and actually put them into a storyboarding composition with like a single panel that actually has a cool story that you're telling there, then maybe that'll work. But I'm not a fan of seeing other people's characters that you're essentially copying, that you haven't thought up yourself, and then putting that in your portfolio. I would rather you come up with your own ideas, or at least show professional work that you've done before. So if you had a client job and you did a couple storyboard panels for that, then you'd want to go in and use those, and you maybe even touch them up. So maybe it's something like it was a rush job, even though you got it done, that you want to go back and clean it up a little bit for your portfolio, you can do that. But I would not necessarily, for example, if you're applying to Disney, do like a Frozen sequence, or do like, if you're applying for Pixar, do a, Pixar sequence, a Toy Story thing. I discourage you from doing that, because they want to see your own personal style from that. Okay. Comic book fan art does not necessarily tell off your storytelling and sequential artwork. So come up with something new. This is where that challenge exercise will come in. Those sample exercises that we're going to give out, that's a pretty cool key thing that you want to be doing, because there you at least have an opportunity to come up with some new ideas. All right. Challenge yourself on that one. That's why it's called the challenge. Yeah. And so for the portfolio, I should mention this, because just to kind of summarize some of the conversation that we're having, is that your storyboard portfolio needs to be a story related book. It has to show your storytelling. So don't just put fancy drawings. Don't just like, you can do portraits. All right. You got one of your dog. Okay. You did some cafe sketches. Oh, I got some figure drawings. Let me throw those in there. That's not storytelling images. A storyboard portfolio needs to show off your story work. It needs to show your story structure. It needs to have your ideas, your gags. It needs to show off how you can handle a dramatic scene, how you can handle a comedy scene, and everything in between. And it has to have a ton of storyboards. So get rid of the figure drawings, the cafe sketches and the life stuff. Maybe you can put that towards the back. But the bulk of your book should be about storytelling and what you can do to construct a sequential art storyboard. Okay, that's basically what you want. All right, I'm glad you guys are liking this chat. Great chat. All right, thanks from Facebook user. All right, so Vinny 2D Art, how do you see nowadays people jumping the storyboard process into directly animatics than properly traditional storyboards? So let me summarize that question. The only thing that matters when you do a story is the result. Okay, it doesn't matter how you get there. If you do it with toothpicks, if you do it with 3D characters, if you do it with drawings, which is mostly what we're talking about here. If the end result is quality storytelling in a cinematic way, that you're doing this with narrative, sequential art, excellent. And you tell an engaging and an exciting story, whether it be comedy, drama, whatever. As long as you tell an awesome story, it doesn't matter how you get there. Okay. So when you see people jumping into animatics, are the animatics good that you're looking at? If they've done it directly in 3D and they've solved the story problems, they have really cool shots, and they're making awesome angles and animatics through that, then that's great. I think I'm all for it. I'm 100% behind that. We did a lot of that at Lucasfilm. We went from the script to doing 3D boards, okay, using 3D tools, previs, and animating it out almost, right? It became this previs animatic thing in 3D, directly in 3D. There were no drawings. Now, I usually did a hybrid because I rely a lot on my drawing skills. So I did a hybrid, like a 2D, 3D drawing. So a lot of the characters I would draw in 2D and then put that in a 3D engine and had the 3D backgrounds. And then I would time that out with all the poses, because I found it faster and easier for me to actually draw the poses than actually animate these things out in 3D. And plus, I like to draw anyway. So I was always trying to do the drawings. But yeah, I'm all for people coming up with the story solutions. And I really don't care how you get there. But it's not about taking away jobs from some people that do 2D boards, or giving jobs to people that do previs or 3D. It's mainly about storytelling. That's all it is. It's a tool. The drawing is a tool to communicate your storytelling. So I would recommend, and I always do, for people who want to get into 3D boards, that you still work on your drawing skills. You have to communicate those things, even in a thumbnail, to be able to sketch out ideas either to yourself or to show that to a client before you commit to 3D. Because still, 3D to me is a slow process. It's much slower because you have to have the models, you have to have the backgrounds, the environments. All that has to be set up before you can actually get going. And if you're doing a drawing, you can just knock that out, and it's a lot easier and faster that way. Okay. Good question here from Sadraman. I saw just came up. Does anyone besides Lucasfilm use 3D story artists? Absolutely. I mean, look at all the game companies doing cinematics. Those guys are working directly in 3D too, and they have the 3D engines like Unreal and Unity that you can do some amazing and sophisticated things. In fact, one of the lead programmers that was at Lucasfilm went to Epic and is working on the Unreal Engine, creating some of the same tools that they use, or similar tools at least, that they were using at Lucasfilm. It's all about storytelling. So the other thing that I know of is this process of doing kind of 3D boards and integrating 3D with 2D is getting more and more common. The reason why is if you have a 3D product, if you're doing like, I don't know, a 3D show, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in 3D or whatever, could be anything, right? The Smurfs rebooted in 3D. If you're going to do that, you know, if the end result is a 3D show, might as well actually get everything that you can in 3D. I really saw the logic there when we did that at Lucasfilm, because we were doing a 3D show. We could have accurate cameras, we have accurate placement of the characters, and we hand that to the layout team, and it was a much smoother process. They can interpret 2D boards, but there's that interpretation that happens there that sometimes it's off, and there's some back and forth that happens there. So, so yeah, that's something you want to check it out. All right, let me look at some of these questions, see which ones are pertinent to what we're talking about here. So yeah, so this just to follow up on some of the animatics and the animation things that we're talking about. So a trend in the industry. So Valentina here is asking, do you mean almost a rough animation in reference to Vinny's question from before? If you look at some of the animatics that are happening now, the trend is to do a very elaborate and timed out animatic. The reason why is the closer you can get to the timing to the finished product, the better off you're going to be. It's a better blueprint for the final product. All you have to do is simply pass that on to the animators and layout guys, and you're already ready to go. It's a really strong foundation to be on. And that is a good place to be. So back in the day, what you normally did was you would do your storyboards, and then there was a lot of gaps that you had to fill in with like timing notes, and maybe you did a couple more poses. And you know, right now it's just the tools weren't there. So right now the tools are getting much better. Programs like Toon Boom, you can export directly in animatic as you're drawing, and that's really, really cool. It's a nice trend that's happening, and I don't see that trend going away. So this is something that we have to be paying attention to. And I would recommend, if you see the extras or kind of look at like the behind the scenes that they do on any of like the feature animation movies that are coming out, that could be from Sony, Pixar, Disney, any of these guys, look and see what the storyboard animatic reels look like. And they're really, really detailed and elaborate. And I think that's cool. You get some people are doing some kick-ass work. So that's always fun to check out. Cool. Oh, this is a great one from River. River Minho Kim. So, hey, Sergio, when is the deadline to submit my portfolio to your Dropbox for getting an opportunity to get some feedback at the Lightbox Expo? We haven't mentioned this yet publicly. You're going to see that on Lightbox. So we are doing a portfolio review for that weekend. That's what River's referring to here. And the deadline would be a day before that event. There have been a lot of submissions, so I recommend you do this as soon as possible, because it's first come, first serve for the portfolio review. And we're going to try and give comments to everybody, but during the live event, we're kind of going to do a summary of all of those portfolios that we've seen submitted. So please submit your portfolio as soon as possible. But I would say that the drop dead deadline date for that is a day before the event, which would be Friday, I believe, if I'm correct on this, September 11th. So it's either September 10th or 11th. You guys check the schedule for me and see if we can get that going. So we are doing a portfolio review for everybody, which is also part of what we're doing with the portfolio challenge. And yeah, it's a great way to participate. It's actually super easy. All you do is go to Lightbox Expo. You're going to see those talks, and there's a link there that you just click on. That it'll send you to Dropbox, and then you can upload your images. So from your own computer or from wherever, an app on your phone, you can also do Dropbox there, and then you can upload your portfolio. So if you have a PDF portfolio or a series of images, give that to us, and we'll take a look at it. Okay, cool, great question. And this is also a really good question from Carolyn Carter. Is the portfolio review the same as a challenge, or are they separate? No, those are two separate events. So the portfolio review is a live streaming event that we're doing in conjunction with Lightbox. Anybody can participate in that. We are doing a separate portfolio challenge, which we are going to do portfolio reviews there as well. That is in conjunction with our Facebook group. I know this sounds confusing, but the portfolio review upload thing that I just mentioned, that's a one-off event that we're doing for Lightbox. The other drawing a portfolio challenge is a training that's happening over 2 weeks. And you can sign up for that now. And the first lesson hits on September 7th, like I mentioned. Okay. We got an awesome question here from, let me see if I can pronounce this right. Anuksha 14.9. And you're asking, I'm only 14. Can I participate in this? My friend, I can't wait for you to participate in this. I love seeing younger artists come on and participate with everybody else. You're 100% welcome. Anybody of any age is welcome to participate in the stuff we do. And we're gonna support you 100% on this. And I love seeing young guys who are into storytelling, who love movies, who want to express themselves on their art. Come on board. We're here to help you. And I can't wait to do that. I wish I had this opportunity when I was a kid and just being able to do it. You have no idea how I always wanted to get into animation filmmaking. And really the information was not out there as a kid. I remember being like 14, 15, 16, trying to figure out what to do because I was always in the art program or the art classes. There was only a few in my high school. And I kept asking my teachers, and I found out about one summer school that did a program for animation. It was really limited. It was really basic, and I didn't get much out of it, unfortunately. I mean, I drew, I did something creative, but it wasn't anything that I could, like a nugget that I can hold on. I think back in the day, Cal Arts did some kind of summer program. I didn't know about that when I was a kid. So it's so much easier nowadays. This information is out there. There is no age limit. I don't care if you're 120 or you're a newborn baby. If you can hold a pencil in your hand and you can draw something, come on and participate in this, okay? So I love seeing that. We had a couple people at Lightbox who approached our table. This was back at the physical event in Pasadena. And I remember a 16-year-old girl came up and showed me her portfolio. It was amazing. It was really, really good, much better than I could have drawn when I was 16. And so the level is really, really getting good. So, and I love that stuff. Okay. All right. So I think we've gone a little bit over. I'll just answer the last few of these questions here, and then we'll call it a night. But quick one here from Animated Reps. Is there a recommendation for Storyboard Pro software tutorials? I think you're pretty good going to the Toon Boom website, and they have a Toon Boom /education, I believe it is. And they do an excellent job of showing you kind of the basic tutorials there. More advanced stuff, I would hit up guys who are using that software on a daily basis. And you can see that a little bit of what we've done. I did a demo in the mentorship that we had on 2018. And we're going to show more of that there, but you can do crazy camera moves there. But most of the high level users of that software are the story guys that are working there. And you can get a good start with the tutorials on the Toon Boom site, but then hit up some other guys there too. And if you have special requests, well, hit us up. Maybe if I can't handle it, I know a bunch of people who are super experts at Toon Boom and Storyboard Pro, so they can help you out on that, doing 2D, 3D, anything in between. So yeah. All right, friends, I think this is an excellent time to call this one for tonight. If you have any questions or any follow-ups, hit us up. We're going to be back on Wednesday with another live chat, and we're warming up to the Lightbox Expo. That one's going to be a big event for September. I hope to see all of you guys there. All right, thanks for joining me tonight, and take care. Keep up the drawings, and I look forward to seeing you in that challenge event if you guys are interested for that. All right, talk soon. See ya.